Hi everyone, my name's Mike. Welcome to the video. So we're back testing bike again today, and as you'll have seen by now, we've tested the new V7 Sport in that beautiful green colour, which harks back to the original 750 V7 of the 1970s. It's looks wise, it's absolutely my favourite of the modern V7s. I think it's just a beautiful looking thing. Had a great day on it. We were all very impressed with the bike. We've tested V7s in the past, and it's a big. It seems like, unless we haven't ridden one for a while, but it just seems a big leap forward over the other V7s that we've ridden in the past. We all really enjoyed it, and we're all very impressed with it. So I'd like to thank Sally and Stuart from A&D Motorcycles for giving us the opportunity to take the bike out and put it through its paces. And thank you guys for watching our videos. If I can just ask if you could subscribe and like the videos, as it does make a big difference to us to be able to keep the channel going forward. So with that, on with the show. Okay, so I'm just leaving the we stopped at a cafe actually at the end of our road, which is very nice. The first thing that strikes you is for a standard bike, how good does it sound? This is just absolutely standard off the showroom. I'm recording this. I've got a recorder in a backpack on my back, so you're picking the sound straight up. But it just is. You know, we talk later on about the Moto Guzzi-ness of various bikes in their range, and this really does have it. It reminds me a lot of a big block, you know, from the 70s in terms of the riding experience. Obviously it's got a lot more power, but it's certainly got the character and the Moto Guzzi charm. But it's quite a revelation in terms of this new engine. I've got it in sport mode here. But you see, when I overtake this car, it's got absolutely tons of snap. No problem at all overtaking. Had no chance to try it on a dual carriageway. But lovely. Around these corners it's rock solid. The front end on the bike is beautiful. It's got the twin Brembo discs, and they work really well. Tons of feel. They're not just powerful, they've got plenty of feel to them. With the new front suspension, it's a really nice experience. So I'm doing my usual what's it like at 20 miles an hour, because living in Wales we have plenty of these, and it passes the test with flying colours once I get it into third gear. So if you bung it into third and just ride around on a, as they used to say, a whiff of throttle, it actually does it really well. It does it better than the V85, and it certainly did. We tried the same thing with the Stelvio, and this copes much better. It's a very friendly bike to ride, this. You know, it's physically quite low and feels fairly light, so it's easy to maneuver. But when you want to have a bit of fun on it, you know, it's got all you need for modern road conditions. What's this van doing? Oh, he's going up the side road, that's okay. You see, there's quite a bumpy road, but the front end just soaks it up beautifully. One thing, and I could probably mess around with the settings, but I found that the rear suspension was a little bit, it probably wasn't set correctly for me, because I'm actually 93 kilos now, and maybe just needed to up the preload on it for me. But handling brilliantly, and it feels really confident when you've got it leaned over on. I don't even know what the tyres are, but they felt great. But the outstanding feature to me is the engine. It feels to me, and we've ridden a few V7s, but this is by far the most healthy V7 I've ever ridden. In fact, we talk later on, I had an 1100 Griso, and this bike would spank my 1100 Griso. And listen to that sound, you know, you don't even need to put different pipes on it. It's bop, 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 bop. It's lovely, lovely. What more could you want? Seems to be every bike I ride these days, I say, I'd love one of these. I did take out a Mandello after this, and that is quite a bit pokier, but this is wonderful. So thanks to A&D, thanks Sally, thanks Stu. Loved riding this bike, and get down to your Moto Guzzi dealer and take one of these out for a run. You will not be disappointed. Hi everyone. Hello. Yeah. Welcome to the video again. Today, we've taken out a V7 Sport Moto Guzzi, which you'll have seen by now because we've probably done all the stuff. So we're just going to have a chat about it and see what we thought. We did previously test an 850 V7 going back probably 18 months ago.
Well, I was just talking to Stuart, it was before he started working here, so it must be 2 or 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we tested it alongside a Continental GT, which is
Enfield.
Which feel free to look back at our back catalogue, because we've got 60 videos up there now, 67 Amazing. I think, nearly 70 videos. Yeah, so, but this is quite a big change. They have made changes to this bike, and it's very noticeable.
I mean, that, going back, 3 years ago, whatever it was, that Guzzi must have been a Euro 4 or something, whereas of course this is a Euro 5 plus. So you would have thought it would be a little bit more sluggish, not. But
you were saying, Rich, so they've made changes just quickly. So they've cams slightly more aggressive. Cams.
The airbox is less restrictive. The silencers are less restrictive. So I think it's about 3 brake horsepower up on a standard one, which doesn't sound that much.
But when you haven't got huge amounts, you'll notice 3. You won't notice 3 on the 90 horsepower.
And it's ride-by-wire, unlike the one 3 years ago. But just talking to Stuart now, I said, oh, it just feels a lot dynamically a lot sharper from that last one we rode. And he said, no, I agree. And Stuart's put a few miles on it, running it in. And he said, what makes a big difference? Not only is it the front end, which is the upside-down forks and whatever, which feel fantastic. They put Michelin tyres on it, the classics, which feel really good. But each of those wheels is 1.8 kilos lighter.
Yeah,
and that's unsprung weight. It feels a lot
really
sharper.
Critical. Yeah, it does. It feels nice.
I think in terms of the engine, though, that the engine on that feels a completely different engine to that original V7.
It does
to me.
I think it's mostly, though, because as Richard said, it's only 3 brake horsepower from the last one. A lot more than, say, your old V7 2, was it?
Yeah, which was a 750, of course.
Yeah, 750, and with the Heron heads, I think.
And mine had the what's it tune? What was it? What do they call that?
Beetle
tune.
Beetle map.
Beetle map.
But you know, you're talking probably 15 horsepower more now at the rear wheel.
And I found it was very Moto Guzzi in a way that, because Dave and I both own Grisos, you've owned Stelvio,
I've owned everything.
you know, the 8-valve one, and to me that engine feels more like a Moto Guzzi than my V11, my Griso 1100. And it actually feels more pokey than the 1100 big block to me.
It's less power, but it's a lot less weight than a Griso.
It just feels snappier, but it's got that beautiful elastic Moto Guzzi.
Very user friendly, lots of low and mid range poke. Beautiful. Absolutely
really. I think we were all a bit surprised, having tested the 850, like we say 2 or 3 years ago, how much snappier, I think it's a good word, snappier it felt. And I think some of that will be the mapping, the ride-by-wire. We had it in sport mode all day. It's got rain mode, and it's probably got a couple of other modes similar to the V85.
Road and sport modes,
But we had it in sport, and I was surprised because I brought along my V11 Sport, which you'll see in some of the shots, my Coppa Italia, which is a more powerful bike, but a slightly a heavier bike. And doesn't feel...
Olin's equipped.
So, But performance-wise, purely just performance, the V7 Sport doesn't feel a lot slower.
It doesn't feel a lot slower, and what it does feel is a bit more accessible. Because I rode the V11 back, and I had a lovely ride on it. Didn't we, Dave? Dave was on my Multistrada. We had a lovely ride. And... yeah, very similar performance, I think.
Yeah, not a lot.
Maybe top endy, not that I took.
But no, you never went above 60, did you?
No. But
on my bike,
probably that's got a little bit more poke top end. But then again, that's still running in, and I didn't rev the Greenie, the V7.
No. But ultimately, I don't think that V7 Sport is going to have 135 mile an hour top end like the V11 Sport. But you really don't need it, and you don't miss it 99.999% of the time. So it doesn't matter.
But at the end of the day, it's a beautiful engine, I think.
The V7, it's a lovely engine.
Do you know what? Really? I mean, I think I mentioned to you earlier on, I didn't have particularly high expectations coming into this with that. I thought, it's just a styling exercise, a rehash, and dynamically it's going to be very similar. But it felt much better than that one we rode 2 or 3 years ago.
It's kind of a bit more memorable. As you say, the guzziness shone through a bit, didn't it?
So I've had loads of Guzzis over the years, as we all have. And I sold my V85 probably 4 or 5 years ago. I sold my V7 probably 3 or 4 years ago. And in a way, I'd almost fallen out of love with Guzzi. I'd forgotten what I liked.
You got onto the singles,
the single scene.
Yeah, we won't start
No, let's not go there.
For God's sake.
It's made me fall in love with Moto Guzzis again. I really enjoyed it. I
enjoyed riding it. So talking as to serial, in your case, V85 TT owners, how do you think the motor in that compares to the motor in the V85?
It's similar for me. It feels more lively simply because it's not damped by the weight.
Yes.
So,
it's sportier, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sportier. I mean, when I got my second V85, which had the sport map, sport setting mode,
and
whatever you want to call it.
And you had a pipe on it as well, didn't you?
And I had a pipe on it, but I had the pipe on the previous one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it felt, even though top end power was down a brake horsepower or two, there was a slightly fatter mid range. So we're talking the difference between an E4 and an E5 Guzzi.
Yeah.
Euro 4, Euro 5 Guzzi V85. But I was expecting it to have less performance, but it had more performance where you used it most in the mid-range, because of that sport map.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with that one.
Yeah.
It's because of the sport mapping. It responds to the throttle quicker, and so it feels more lively. Ultimately, it's probably not a lot quicker than its predecessor.
Yeah.
But it's just taken some of the cotton wool off it and made it feel more Guzzi and more
I
alive.
mean, I think as consumers, motorcycle consumers, we all get wrapped up with the catalogue horsepower, and people say, oh well, that's 10 plus brake horsepower less than a V85 TT. Why didn't Guzzi put the V85 TT engine in and 79, 80 horsepower, whatever it is? But actually, real world, you probably can't tell any difference, and that's a lighter bike.
Unless you're revving the nuts off it. Yeah.
You said probably 15, 20 kilos lighter.
Oh,
so
easy,
no real
easy,
difference.
20 kilos lighter. No, there isn't. And one of the reasons, I mean, you said the airbox is less restrictive. Yeah. Packaging limitations in a Roadster, they probably haven't got room for a bigger airbox, which they've got on the V85. So some of it will be inherent in the way it is. The things I didn't like about it. The things I didn't like about it is I just hopped off my V11, which is a 20-odd-year-old Guzzi. So we're not talking state of the art, but it has got Öhlins, as Mike kindly pointed out. And I found the front end, and it might have just been a preload because there is only adjustable preload on it. It's good quality suspension, but only preload adjustable. Kyabra, I think it is, isn't it? I found the front end a little bit too harsh for my liking, but it could be just not a damping issue of preload.
I had an opposite experience. I found the front end on that, and I am 100 kilos, Dave's what you
75.
Probably about 95 at the moment, he says blushingly. I found the front end to be great on it.
Yes.
I found it had, in combination with the Brembo brakes, I found there was loads of feel, like going into corners. And again, I wasn't doing a track day on it, but you could trail brake it in, and there's so much feel from those front brakes, and I felt lots of feedback through the front forks. I found the front end really good.
Okay.
What I didn't like was the back end.
Yeah.
I think the shocks on the back, it was like the front end was like that and the back end was giving it this.
Yeah. Having said that, again, whether it's our memories playing tricks, but compared to the last V7 we rode 2-3 years ago, I found the rear end a lot better than that bike.
Yeah,
and they have upped the spec on it, even though
I can't remember.
It's all preload only, but I think on that one, I don't know about the rest of the range.
I agree with you. The front end I found superb. So in comparison, maybe the rear was a little bit lacking. But overall, I thought it was superb. And compared to my old 750 V7, I thought, okay, admittedly it weighed a lot more, but dynamically it was fabulous. Yeah, really
the new one.
Yeah.
And I agree with you about the brakes, by the way.
You and I have a different riding style.
Yeah, we do have a different riding style.
I ride a lot more front-ended than you.
Yeah.
So, whereas you more like Peter Fonda.
Yeah, and my riding style is different again. I sort of back it in.
Yeah, you do.
You back it in, Rich.
Like Ruben's house.
Yeah.
Who's he?
There we go.
Some bloke who backs it in.
Yeah, unlike you, Rich. But no, the brakes are nice. They've got radial calipers on them at a slightly higher spec than the rest of the range or anything recently. And they're lovely. Loads of feel, as you say, Mike. Yeah. What else didn't I like about it?
Seating position, I think.
Yeah, so it's quite a sporty bike, for something of its ilk. It's a retro soft sports, whatever you want to call it. And I found the riding position was very roadsterish, like the rest of the range, which is fine.
The foot peg's a bit far forward.
The foot peg's a bit far forward, that's all I'd say, yeah.
And Stu said that when he took it on the run to run it in. But what he said, and what I did when I rode it, is if you put the balls of your feet on the footrest, it kind of puts you into that position. And
I wish I'd remembered those words from Stuart before I rode it.
And it does make a difference.
Yeah, but it's a lovely comfy seat, and I just think cosmetics more than anything else. They've done it in the right colour.
Yeah.
It'd just be a shame. The rear mudguard isn't colour matched, which is a bit of a shame.
It is.
And just be nice with slightly rear set foot pegs and then maybe a mini fairing to give it that V7 mini Le Mans.
An old Mark 1 Le Mans fairing.
Yeah,
I mean,
kind of thing.
Quite a few of my motorcycling buddies are Guzzi files, and the general consensus is they've said they love the bike, and a few are interested in buying one.
Love the look of it, I'm presuming,
but they ponder whether it is worth the extra money, and again, goes back to the question, is it just a little bit of a rehash, and you're paying a lot more for not much more, but it does encourage you. Dynamically, it's a lot better than the standard one, I would say, with those forks and whatever. But Yeah, they're saying it's a shame it didn't have the spoked wheels. But as Stuart said, if those are special lightweight ones, then it's
that's
a good
the right thing.
And some say it's a shame it hasn't got the analog clocks.
Well, that's been a
standard
theme.
headlight.
Yeah.
I think the headlight doesn't bug me. The clocks work well. I just don't particularly like them cosmetically. You know, the single kind of image. It'd be nice to have twin clocks, like you say. But functionality, I can't fault it. I mean, people said the same about the V85, didn't they? They wanted twin clocks on there.
Yeah, people say about the Triumphs. They, you know, but it
all works nicely.
I'll tell you what I do like as well. I love the mirrors.
Yeah, the mirrors are nice. They're almost
mirrors, really nice.
I was looking at them.
They work brilliant.
And they're nice looking. I thought they might be aftermarket.
They
ones.
look like Rizomas.
Or Oberon or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. I was when I was riding, I was sort of checking them, going, are these sort of aftermarket ones somebody's put on the demo? But no, they're standard.
So you were looking for us because you were so far ahead.
I was so far ahead. I was going, where have they gone?
Where
Oh, look
are
at those
they?
mirrors. They're nice.
Where's that red Ducati?
Where's that red Ducati? Yeah.
So when you piece this video together, Mike, you'll give all the prices and whatever, because offhand I can't remember how much extra that is over a standard one.
I'll refer to our missing member.
Yes, to Stuart.
Yes.
And I'm assuming on the standard one you can probably do a deal, whereas on that, obviously,
You're not gonna get a
you
deal.
wouldn't. And everybody would be wondering, is it worth the extra money? All I can say is, without knowing offhand how much extra it is, it does feel very different to a standard one.
Yeah,
and
it does.
It's a lot more agile. It encourages you to ride in a different way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
One big thing, because John, my brother, who's got a V85, Richard's old one, he's keen on having a look at this because he wants something a little bit lower, a little bit lighter. Top box. He can't live without a top box.
Oh dear.
So we could get it. We could get it like a lime green top.
Lime green one. It looks.
We'll
one.
buy one for his birthday.
Yeah. It looks stylish. Yeah, it looked great. No, it's. I agree with you, Rich. I mean, for a small block Guzzi, I've ridden your old one a lot, which was 40 odd horsepower, and enjoyed it because it felt like almost like a.
It was a nice light bike.
Yeah,
very different feel.
But performance wise, you're talking almost sort of 1970s sort of performance, mid 40 brake horsepower. That is, we've all agreed, is spitting distance in everything but top end of the V11 Sport. And the V11 Sport, we've all agreed, is faster than an old 4-valve Griso.
Yeah.
So, you're getting quite a lot of performance in Guzzi terms, in retro terms, way more than something like a Bear 650 Enfield.
It's a different.
We all love the Bear.
We love the Bear, but that is.
You're getting more for your,
engine-wise, it's.
Well, I mean, you're looking at sort of nearly 10 grand as opposed to nearly 7 grand.
Exactly.
So it is nearly 50% more, but you're getting a premium brand. It is a step up.
Yeah,
it is. The Bear's great, as we all agree.
Yeah.
But it's a different market, and if you're on a budget, a Bear is.
It does feel like a more premium bike.
I reckon that would kill my old Griso engine-wise. Performance.
It's definitely snappy,
and it feels more Guzzi-ish.
Yeah.
So they have done a great job on it. The other thing that feedback I get from Guzzi files is the other regret is they didn't go all the way and be a bit braver and put a red frame on it, like the original 70s Taleo Rosso, or however you, So that is a bit of a shame. I think the red frame.
A lot of people who that would appeal to, as in the new, and I won't use the word hipster, but I'll use the word
younger,
wouldn't have a clue and they wouldn't care about a red frame. They'd look at it and go, "Ew, it's got a red frame." So I can see why.
Yeah, maybe. Although it is selling on its heritage, isn't it?
But
because with the original Greenie V11, I remember, because I've shown people in Australia when you got yours, and they're going, "Oh, I hate those red bits on it," and it's like, well, this is the history.
I'm sure they thought about it.
Yeah.
Me and you would probably want it, Rich, but we're not.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't, because I'm a hipster.
Yeah, you are a Gen Zer. Yeah.
I'm down with the young ones.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up because we're just waffling on now. Yeah. So, thank you very much.
No, thank you, and thank you to A&D.
Thank
you to Sam's Cafe for the call.
And if anybody is considering one,
you want me to edit that out?
Yeah.
Well, if anybody is considering one, they should come here and have a test ride, and I think they'd be impressed, wouldn't they?
Well done, Rick.
Good plug.
It is. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. It exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I don't know how much interest has been in it, but honestly, and this isn't the pitch, It's a lovely bike.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
lovely bike.
All right, we are now waffling again.
Am I waffling?
Yeah.
Okay. I like my waffle. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks. See you.